Hi guys, welcome back to another Explain 12 video. We are continuing our Explain 12 route after having flown the Fly UK A320neo with the Tolis version, and now we're flying in Explain again, this time though not for Fly UK but for Bonair, which is another of my virtual airlines. And we are at a place called, let me check what it's called, Pietermaritzburg in South Africa. We're going to be flying to Richards Bay. We're going to be flying the Thranda Pilatus 12 or Pilatus PC-12, something like that. And yeah, it's going to be a short hop over South Africa, just regular Explain scenery, so nothing fancy in terms of photo reel or anything like that. But this will be my first YouTube flight with this virtual airline. I've done a couple of them flying the Twin Otter, but since that one doesn't really have a livery, and you can make your own livery with this one, so I made a Bonair Express livery based on the colors that they have. I thought it would be fun to start with this one and introduce the plane to YouTube, at least on my channel. But yeah, not much to note other than that. This is freeware scenery for Pietermaritzburg. Well, we'll have at Richard Bay some, I think it's NNM or something like that. They made their scenery freeware, so I downloaded that straight from explain.org. And we're using FS Charter. I've already done the boarding thing just to get all the CG unloaded and stuff. And we should be ready to go. But first off, we can just have a look at this plane. I bought it on the Just Flight sale, and I'm really happy I did. I did some test flights in thunderstorms just to see how it handles, and it's a beauty. It's a very nice plane. We have some seats. I wish you could switch the passenger layout so it's not so fancy, but it will do. And as you can see, I've added the South African flag. I'm not sure if you should tweak it like that or have it like the wrong direction, but I've tweaked it so it's showing in the right direction. I know some like the US, you shouldn't do that. But yeah, we can have a quick look at this bird from the outside. You know, pretty well made, quite detailed. It's an 8K texture, so that's very nice. And you can kind of see when you get close, but yeah, it's pretty good. I think all the rivets, etc., are here. So yeah, it's a very nice plane, and we can of course board it as our next step. I even think it has a toilet, if I'm not mistaken, here. So let me see. Oh, maybe we can't really board it because we. So I'm just gonna close the walk around tool, and we're just gonna go inside. It has some own viewpoints per automation or automatically, so you don't have to set them all. I've changed some of them, but mainly they're all kind of, the viewpoints are the same. But yeah, here we go. We have our everything. It's set according to FS Charter. It sets it automatically for you, so that's very nice. I'd forgotten about that, so I was trying to figure out how I was gonna align it, but it is aligned. As you can see, we are right at the edge on the flight envelope. So we're gonna have to be a bit careful when we fly this this aircraft, and I'm just gonna check that if it's also loaded in the actual sim, and it does look like it's loaded, so we can resume our flight. And you can do a lot of changes here. Instruments, change those. I've just gone with the ones that come with the plane itself, or well, I guess all of them come with the plane. You can edit the panels as well, move them around. But I've just decided to go with the default. You can change dyno feel. Ground handling just gives you this one. Dynamic liveries. Equipment, right? You want male, female pilot. I hope they're gonna add a bit more, but and of course you have Avitab, which is great to have. And talking about that, maybe we should get charts for that airport. Let's see if we can find find any chart. We're supposed to be landing on runway 505, so it should be sufficient if we could find let me see here, Richards Bay. Ah, god damn it, it was an old. I'm gonna look for PDF. Let's see if we can find. Oh yeah, but they have their own online, right? So you can just kind of download directly from the South African Civil Aviation Authority, if I'm not mistaken. If I haven't forgotten, let's see. So Richards Bay, we can just download the VR. You'll get this, right? So I'm just gonna download that and save it here in our charts for airports. And I'll move it to Avitab as well, so we have it. And that's in Explain, Resources, Plugins, Avitab, Charts. Then we can move it directly. So now we should have it. And I like this, that they have the EFB in the aircraft. I think this is the first Thranda plane with that. Did the Thranda Just Flight BAE have that? Maybe. Let's add the batteries. We are gonna use Pack X, even though it's a bit unrealistic with this sort of a small plane. But I just want it for the for the kind of tracking. 'Cause I'm not sure this one tracks takeoff and landing rates. So it's always nice to see how I have done it. It's saying 25,000 feet, and I have no clue how actually the specification for the Pilatus PC-12 cruising altitude. It can go up to 30,000. Okay, so maybe 25 is doable. Let's see. We'll just do our standard times. Do we have any PC-12 info here? Likely not. We can do DC-3. We can do 7-pack. And then boarding music, I don't think we have anything for Bonair, if I'm not mistaken. We can of course double check, doesn't look like it, we'll just do generic music. And safety, I don't think I have anything for Bonair either in this regard, so we'll just do the generic one. We can say that that's the some recording or something that we're playing. But yeah, and here we are, you can see we're still strapped to the ground. So we'll need to get rid of that before we get going anywhere. We can start with the easy steps. That's the batteries. Oh wait, did I shut them down? God, that's smart. Standby bus. Get everything rolling so we can get all the stuff. I think the aviation ones, you're only supposed to put those on after you've started the aircraft. We have a nice checklist that we can follow. Fire extinguisher, etc. No clue where that one is actually. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna assume it's fine. Yeah, they're secured. Parking brakes are set. You can see it set like that. External power, it's on, right? Circuit breakers, electrical switches are off. Is this like the really first one? Inspection. Okay, we can skip this one. Let me just check if there's anything. Yeah, okay, just walkarounds. Okay, so pre-flight logbook and papers, we have checked that, but it might be worth. We don't need that here, but we do need to check the sim brief PDF.
We're ready to go when you are.
Just to see what we're talking of in weather terms. It looks like we'll have a tailwind. Bit of cross element. There doesn't seem to be any risk of icing, so that's good. Broken at 20 at our destination, but good visibility. We have scatter at 25 here. Doesn't look like it's that much though, scattered, right? So we should be fine. We don't need chocks, etc. So that's something we want to remove. And the way you do that is not, it's this aircraft option. So you remove those tie-me downs. We remove the covers. And we can close all the doors. We have our packs on board on our Bonair charter flight. So that's good. The GPU is also on and connected. Back to the checklist. Parking brake is set. Doors are closed. 5 or 6 green. Should probably have tried to figure out where that is, but oh well. And that's for the weather radar. And let's see, I guess nav lights we can already put on. Test and then on, so that's the EPS. We can hide this one. Yeah, looks good. We can arm it. Batteries on, landing gear handle is down, master caution has been reset. And it's this one, right? Inertial separator can be open. Flight control lock doesn't seem to be in place, so that's fine. Not applicable. Fuel quantity is set. Let me have a look. Based on what we should have 9988, and that looks like 999. Yeah, that should be fine. At least I have no complaints about it. MOR stored all the way to the back. Is it just the bench itself? It must be, right? Let's remove these so we have enough or more visibility in the cabin. Anything else? PCL. That must be the power control lever. That's also in the back. We only have one engine, so that's good to keep in mind if we have any troubles with it. Got to get down quickly. Condition lever is in cutoff state. Yes. We can confirm that. I should actually, because I have an extra that I'm not using, a slot on my honeycombs. Maybe I should actually do that for the prop lever. That would be a good thing actually to implement. GPU external voltage, CWS lights. I have no clue what that is, but I haven't noticed any. Let me see, calves, is that specific? Let me see, what's calves? Central oral warning system. So is this the annunciator panel? Okay. I guess we know which ones we have to handle and which ones we do not. Beacon, we can put that to on. Maybe a bit early, but let's do it. So we haven't even put in our flight plan. Talking about that, let's maybe focus on that. So we have our route approach wise. We'll do a VOR. We can load that with vectors. We can activate it. So hopefully we should be vectored in. We can validate flight plan and we can file the flight plan. No, it's saying 13,000 feet is what this other one is. This other flight plan is recommending, so I'm not sure we should actually be flying higher than that. I'm gonna change this down. It felt a bit optimistic to be flying that high. Okay, and I'm not sure we would be able to make it. This is not a long, this is 100 nautical miles, give or take. We can validate it again and we'll connect to the sim. We should have connection now, so that's very good. And let's see if we have any frequency for 80s or control. We have Johan control. Could this Cape clearance be something that we... Yeah, this should give us an IFR clearance. Okay, very good. Let's ask and see if we get it. Bonair 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance.
Bonair 4003, contact Peter
Oh,
Maritzburg
they want us to
Tower
move
on
to the tower.
122.0 for IFR clearance.
Bonair
we put
4003
this one
tower
on.
on 122.0.
Bonair 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance.
Bonair 4003 is cleared to Foxtrot Alpha Romeo Bravo as filed.
Climb and maintain
Expect
flight
departure
level
runway 16.
900.
Climb and maintain flight level 090. Expect higher clear answers 5 minutes
Okay,
after departure.
we'll do that afterwards.
Durban approach on 125.75.
In
Squawk
terms of our
320.
squawk,
Bonair
see if we can
4003 is cleared to Foxtrot Alpha Romeo
set
Bravo as
that
filed. Climb and maintain flight level
32220.
090. Expect higher clearances 5 minutes after departure. Durban approach on 125.75.
We should have it set now, but we can't
Squawk
see it.
3220.
I guess we can put on the
Bonair
avionics.
4003,
That will help us.
correct. QNH is 1013. Let us know when you're ready for pushback.
We can put all of these
QNH
stuff.
is 1013 Bonair 4003.
But I guess technically it's wrong to put these on beforehand. So just FYI, at least according to the checklist, which is what I've been following thus far. Okay, is this maybe... That's the ADFs. Where's the TCAS radio? Is it this one maybe? 3220. Okay, perfect. What options do we have on it? VFR altitude identifier. Okay, well that's good. At least we are aware of which one it is now. Okay, and we have our clearance. It was 9,000, not 8. So I'll just change that quickly. And in terms of our flight plan, it's a very straight one. We're basically flying a direct to RBV. Wow, that was... So let's see if we can do this. It's a while since I... So this should be R. There we go. Richards Bay, VR. And we can activate that directly. Because we are at the right airport, right? Yeah, we are. Okay, perfect. So we have that. That's all we need to set. We can though think about setting. Let me just think about this. We wanna go to the not the Vienna flight plan. We do wanna select an approach. Not on that one though. We wanna. Oh yeah, we need to add the airport, right? Yeah, we have that activated. Let me have a look. Flight plan. And here we should be able to put in the FARB one. Oh no. So F. A R B. So there we go. Let's see now if we can get the procedure for the approach. So VDM 05 vector, so we can load that, so we have it ready, and now we have the map back as well. So that's let's zoom in. So we have a good viewpoint of where we're at. Okay. Very good. Very good. Propeller area is clear and we are ready to rumble. We'll keep the GPU on until we get going. We have the parking brake set. Okay, and the way you start this is you press this one first. So there's 1 and 2, and we should see oil pressure etc. rising, and then we can go to stable at 13%, though we need to wait for the NG to be stable at 13%. And that's fine. And we can put that to ground idle.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an important safety demonstration.
Okay, let's see if we're getting...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Our crew members are committed to ensuring your comfort and above all, your safety. We'd like to take a few minutes
The
to
it
acquaint
is
you
at
with the many safety features
565.
of this aircraft. Although you already may be familiar with many of these procedures, we'd appreciate your attention during this important safety
Oh, and
briefing.
we're burning fuel.
Safety starts with your seatbelt.
Hurts my soul seeing that. Not as much as with an Airbus though. So is the NG stable at above 60%? It is. Starter switch. Light is off. Ignition cavs light off if above 500. Yes. Engine instruments, external power switch. I think we can disconnect that one, and we can put the generators
Now
on.
would be a good time to take a moment and locate the two exits nearest you, keeping in mind that your nearest exit may be behind you. All doors are equipped with evacuation slide rafts, which may be detached and used as flotation devices.
And it's still looking pretty good. It's a beautiful aircraft, the Pilatus, I must say. One of the main reasons why I got it, and that it has only one engine. I mean, I have the Kodiak as well, right? But I wanted another one that was maybe a bit quicker. Okay, checklist wise, avionics 1, overheaded 1, inverters, transfer. Is that the correct one? I hope so. Let me have a look. Pitos, I need to get those on. Is that the... No, that's not the prop one. Sorry, that's the de-icing. Probes. Probes is the pitot. ECS and pusher. In terms of trim, let's add a bit of nose up trim. Please remember, smoking is not permitted on this aircraft. All of our lavatories are equipped with smoke detection systems, and federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling or destroying these And what else did we need to do? We I need to reset the view. So seatbelt signs on. Where do we have no smoking? Seatbelt sign. ECS to auto. And that's over here. Let's put this to a good map. Can we do that? We have arc.
So please make sure that your tray tables, seat backs and footrests are in their upright and stowed carry-on baggage is properly stowed, either in the overhead bins or under the seat in front of you. Remember that the overhead
If we
bins
do
should be
nav
opened
1,
slowly and carefully, as the contents may shift around during the flight.
might be good to see
We
a
also
bit of
recommend that all
info.
passengers take a moment to review the illustrations provided in the safety information
It's not
card.
the best screen to be frank.
If you have any questions about these important
can't
safety
arm
and
that yet.
evacuation procedures,
We can
please
test
ask a
that.
crew member. Thank you for your attention and cooperation. All of us at this airline appreciate the opportunity of showing you how committed we are to making this and every flight as safe
And there
and
we
as
go, we have
comfortable
that
as
one
possible.
done. ECS flaps to 15. There we go, flaps to 15. What about
Cabin
the
is secure, ready for departure.
cabin altitude actually? Let's do that. That should be sufficient. We don't need anything else. GPS, startup database, course deviations, takeoff from time to destination, bearing to track. Yeah, all of this is good. Before taxi. Chocks, let's actually ask for that. We didn't ask for any clearance, right? Bonair 4003, ready for pushback.
Bonair 4003.
I guess we're not doing a pushback, so a bit unnecessary.
Pushback approved Bonair 4003.
External lights, we do want to have taxi on together with beacon. Do we have any runway turn off? Maybe recognition, or do we need that? Maybe not. Probes and windshield heats, I guess they can be on. Right windshield. Guess we can keep them off, on or off, and then the probe is fine to keep on. Not inhibited, pressurization, cruise plus 1. And let's see, we're gonna be up to 13,000, right? So we don't need to have a crazy high. We can do that, right? Or maybe a bit higher, just to make sure we have a bit of, if in case we go above. Flaps, trim, set 3 green, free and connect. Let's have a look. Yeah, looks like our flight controls are working. And yeah, trim, let's just have a look. We do want to set the, gotta do the rudder trim, right? You can see I'm moving it slowly with my honeycomb. I have a roller that I can move the rudder trim with. Okay, nose up. Or do they want to keep it nose down? Set 3 green. Okay, so I guess within the green span, that's fine. I hope at least. Okay. And the instruments 80s. Let's actually ask for Bonair 4003, ready to taxi.
Bonair 4003 runway 16. Taxi via taxiway
16 is very
Alpha.
close.
Hold short runway 16.
Runway 16, taxi via taxiway Alpha.
Altimeters, we want to ask that. Avionics, pusher test, we need to do that.
Bonair 4003 advise when ready for departure.
Wilco Bonair 4003.
Okay, our co-pilot is taking care of that. Bonair 4003, say altimeter.
Bonair 4003 current altimeter is 1013.
Altimeter 1013 Bonair 4003.
And let me have a look.
Bonair 4003
This should be
altimeter is 1020.
Altimeter 1020 altimeter is 1020 Bonair 4003.
wait, did it change? Altimeter is 1020. Okay, it did change. Let me check if what's the correct one. Yeah, it did change. Oh, that's interesting. Bit of a fluctuation. Okay, pusher test. This was the thing that took the longest for me to understand. So, in order to do it, you need to put in a bit of torque. Not too much. You need to press that. back. There we go. Okay. So, just so we know that the stick pusher is working. Takeoff briefing. I guess above 100 will take off at some point. Taxi lights, brakes, yes. Pusher test, yes. Okay. Releasing parking brake, and we're off. Look at this beauty. Okay, we can bit throttle down. It's a quick bird. And we should advise when ready for departure. Bonair 4003, ready for departure at runway 16.
Bonair 4003 winds are calm. Runway 16 cleared for takeoff. Maintain
Clear
runway
for
heading until
takeoff,
above
landing,
3,400
and strobe.
feet, then turn left to heading 055 to intercept course. Clear to taxi on runway 16.
055.
Runway 16 cleared for takeoff. Maintain runway heading
I'm
until
gonna-
above 3,400 feet, then left to 055.
Okay,
clear to taxi on runway
3,400
16 Bonair
feet.
4003.
And then to 055.
Bonair 4003. You have
Probes
not been
and-
cleared for takeoff.
Wait, we got takeoff clearance, but Bonair 4003, ready for takeoff.
Bonair 4003 winds are calm. Runway
Okay.
16 cleared for
So odd.
takeoff. Maintain runway heading until above 3,400
Okay,
feet,
wait,
then
it does
turn left
want
to
us
heading
to have
055 to intercept course.
Runway 16 cleared for takeoff.
yaw
Maintain
dampener
runway
is
heading
off.
until above 3,400 feet, then left to 055 Bonair 4003.
Condition lever, that should go to. Okay, so we have some things we need to put on. That's the windshields. We need to put this. Oh, not that. Oh. Small mistakes. Okay, let's see. Okay, we don't want to be in reverse. Good. Okay, let's see. And we have now that one in flight idle. Okay, so we are basically ready now to take off and get on our merry way. Where we're going to be turning left to 055 after we have reached 3,400 feet. Let's remember that. Looks good on our sides. Yeah, look at this bird. She is a beauty. A bit tiny compared to our other planes that we fly usually, but it's gonna be a lot of fun flying this one. Okay, let's put us on the center line. We are ready for takeoff. Question is, of course, what values we would put normally, but let's make sure we don't go over on the torque nor on the NG values.
Alpha Quebec, report again within 10 minutes, normal operation.
Okay, looking pretty good. Let's go. Okay, let's try to maintain the center line. Okay, looking pretty good. 50 knots, check.
Hotel November, confirm estimate 60 at 0555.
Let's add a bit of torque. Almost at 100. Okay, we're gonna start pulling up. Gear coming up. Gonna trim it a bit just so we can maintain altitude. We'll maintain runway heading for now. 3,400, and then we're gonna do a left turn. We don't wanna do. I always forget which is the. We can arm nav. Okay, we can go flap 0. We can trim it down a little bit. We can put on the yaw dampener. That's gonna help quite a bit with the stability of the airplane. At least we'll just decrease the torque a bit. I will start turning to 0.55. Still looking pretty good. It's a very clear weather, very nice weather out there as well. Let's keep the heading mode on. We can arm
Bonair
the
4003, contact Durban
vertical.
approach on 125.75.
Put on the
Approach
VS.
on 125.75 Bonair 4003.
Yeah, and we are turning the right
Bonair
way.
4003 climbing to flight level 090.
Bonair 4003, good morning.
Gear is up, lights.
Radar contact 3
Ah.
nautical miles east of
Yes,
Pietermaritzburg Airport.
flaps. Taxi and landing lights. Those are off now. Okay, we're now at 5.5, so we need to trim down a bit. It's a quick one. Climb power. Actually, I haven't looked at that. You have specific power settings, and in order to do that in a good way, let me give the autopilot the command, so I have a bit of time to do. So we want to check climb power outside, and let me just check if there's any, well, not trust management computer, but something to that effect with the Pilatus. Do we have any info on, or I guess it's just some value, right? That's reasonable. We can get a bit down on the torque. Felt like we don't want to be in the yellow for too long. We have nav armed. The question is just which nav. There we go. GPS is the nav we want to have. So now that one, so we have to click nav here to change the system.
Bonair 4003, climb and maintain flight level 150, contact Johannesburg East Center on 119.9.
Oh, and we do need to use the recognition lights. Which
Climb
one
and
are
maintain
those
flight level
though?
150 center on
Is it
119.9
those?
Bonair 4003.
So
Bonair
landing
400.
and recognition
Expect vectors
differences.
to the VO are approach
Okay.
to runway 05. Bonair 4003. Center Bonair 4003 level at 7,800 feet.
Bonair 4003, good morning.
Bonair 4003, QNH is 1013, descend and maintain 4,900 feet.
QNH is
What's
1013
it
descend
doing?
and maintain 4,900 feet. Bonair 4003.
There's
Bonair
something off
4003, maintain 4,900
with
feet.
the autopilot. No, sorry, with the pilot to ADC. I am gonna ask to go VFR. Bonair 4003, cancel IFR.
Bonair 4003, roger, radar service terminated, frequency change approved. Good day.
Okay, we'll terminate those for now. And let's climb up to 13,000, which is the original plan. We're soon coming up on 10,000. We can switch this to standard. We can shut the recognition lights. Do we need the standby bus on?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may turn off larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight and do not form a line near the lavatory.
And we need to climb a bit slower. There's no mega rush. Pressurization is... How's it looking actually? Still looking pretty fine. Shouldn't it be climbing? Okay, let's keep that in mind. Recognition light, inertial separator, DIs, pack signs as required. No smoking, seatbelt signs. We are following the flight plan as intended. I really like the default GPS in X-Plane, it really works, so that's nice compared to P3D. Altimeter sets, recircling or off for the cooling system. I guess we can have the recircling on. So that should be fine. Cruise power is well, kind of set. Engine instrumentation, trend monitoring. Everything is looking kind of fine. We're talking about 25 more minutes of flying, so it's not gonna be a long flight, this one. We should hopefully be able to pick up a bit of speed once we stop. I'm gonna add a bit of torque or thrust. And how's this one looking? It's fine, right? I hope. Okay, let's see. For the landing we'll have a VOR. The question is, I think next one is the descent, so we can go to Abitab, charts. And this one was FARB, right? Simple one, VOR 1113. .0, and as you can see we are already finding it with our VR needle. The course we are about to take is 5-8. Okay, so let me check 5-8. This is the course knob. The problem is we can't see it, and we want to do 5. But down here we can actually see it, so we're doing 5-8 on course. You can see it's in front of us by this arrow. We're coming up on 13,000. Let's see, will this mean that we are gonna stay, because we have it armed? Yeah, looks like we're stopping the climb. So RBV would be like ping pong, and then for the landing what I'll do is I'll just put us on a kind of direct course to the approach. Once we start descending we wanna be quite low, 2000 for the final approach. So initial and then descend and hold to 30. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I guess we could do this. I'm not too good with how to put in the hold, so I'm just gonna go with descent and then a straight in. I guess technically that wouldn't be wrong either. In terms of are there any minimums? Never seen this sort of a map before. The altitude is 70, or this must be the 501 for category A and B, and then C. So 501 should do it for us. Elevation is 109. So 501. Can we set that somewhere in this little tiny aircraft? I really thought we could, but maybe there is no... There, yeah, maybe there is no actually no minimums. Let me though double check that with so right mod let me see mode sync, which are these one? Aspen Avionics. Do they have controls? And in that case, where the hell are the controls? What's the caution about? It looks okay, nothing on the... we're below the red tape, so to speak. But yeah, where are these? Oh, that's the Aspen EFD. Okay, so if you had the more developed one.
You're showing 6,500 7,000.
Okay, but we'll just have to remember 501. What are we talking about now? 17 minutes. We'll start descending when it's about 50 nautical miles. That should be enough to get us down to 2,000. Maybe a bit sooner. Let's see if the sale is already wrapped up on Just Flight. Wouldn't surprise me if it is. No, it's still on special price. So if you really want to get it, here it is on Just Flight. 31. I thought it was a really good price. I mean, it's a beautiful looking aircraft. They have some other ones as well. I think you can see it on special offers. They have the Islander, so if you want that in X-Plane. I'm a bit torn if I'm gonna do it X-Plane or P3D. I might do the P3D one, just because it's a classic, the Flight 1 offering, even though it's not for P3D, it's for FSX, but it's a very nice looking plane. So I might at some point get that, another of my hangar queens. Let's see, Sim Market wanted to send me a notification. I'm gonna check this out. Okay, nothing important. Thought there was an update. Any new products? Honolulu. Mainly for Microsoft Flight Sim, some X-Plane ones. Nothing new on P3D though. What's the Honolulu one? Looks okay, but nothing spectacular. Pretty high on size, but that's probably ortho photos being included. In terms of this engine oil, maybe a bit high. Torque, looking good. So most values are looking good, so that's nice. I'm just gonna go and get something to drink quickly, and then I think we can start our descent. Yeah, it's basically gonna be after I got him back, so see you in a bit.
318, maintain flight level 230, report Katia.
Okay, next report position, get Paris 9318. Radar Brigade 5 Romeo Alpha Tango.
Alpha Tango radar identified for 6005 reaching. Climb level 90 to Xari and report Xari into Thomasina Tango.
Climb level 90 for Xari or report Xari and Thomasina contact Alpha Tango.
Okay, my co-pilots, I am back. We are about 50 nautical miles now to go. And let's have a look quickly at our situation. We're coming up. Can we activate the approach? We can. Look at that. So now we're gonna fly directly to that. We're also gonna put this down to 2000. We're gonna arm that. We're gonna put on the... We're gonna start descending.
Radar recipient race 52, good afternoon again, out of flight level 86, climbing flight level 340. Kicking
We're gonna do 15,000. I'm gonna throttle back a bit. We're looking really good on the fuel quantity, so I don't think there was any risk of us running out there. Maybe if the weather would have taken a bad turn. Let's have a look at that actually. I guess since we're flying VFR we should probably change to the frequency.
Center Bonair 4003 request VO or approach to runway 05 at Richards Bay
Okay,
Airport.
we gotta throttle down a bit more.
Bonair 4003, contact Durban approach on 125.75 with your request good day.
Approach on 125.75 Bonair 4003.
Looking pretty good on our sides. Beautiful aircraft.
Approach Bonair 4003 descending to flight level 050. Approach Bonair 4003 request VO or approach to runway 05 at Foxtrot Alpha Romeo Bravo.
Okay, we need to throttle down even more it seems like. We don't want to overspeed. We're coming up on 10,000, so that's the recognition lights. Let's have a look though to make sure we are doing this correct. Descent, power, pressurization, field plus 500. How do you even set the pressurization for that? Guess we can go low. Yeah, it's descending now. Yeah. Verified, briefed, compass, altimeter, and decision height, which we can't set, but we know it's 500.
Approach Bonair 4003 descending to flight level 050.
Did we get any? Let me see, approach request. Let's just skip that then. Bonair 4003, say altimeter.
Approach Bonair 4003, say altimeter.
Bonair 4003 current altimeter is 1013.
Altimeter 1013,
Okay.
Bonair 4003.
I guess we can maintain as is then as of now.
Bonair 4003 altimeter is 1014.
Okay,
Altimeter
1014
1014
changed a
altimeter
bit.
is 1014 Bonair 4003.
We can descend a bit slower, there's no mega rush as of yet. So after below 10,000, that's when it should be open. Recognition lights, we can do pack signs and cabin lights, I guess. No smoking or keeping the seatbelt signs unlocked. Let's go. Ooh. Easy to get tired when you're flying and it's straight flying. Very clear, nothing to track, just good weather all around. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this livery actually. I like the Pilatus as well. I kept that from the design livery. Why don't they have a screenshot? Most of these have a screenshot Discord, but apparently not these ones. Interesting. They have a very versatile fleet though. I'm having a look at it now quickly. Do they have the 737-900 still? Yes, they do. They fly that on their domestic routes. Okay, let's jump back into the cockpit, get focused. We have about 10 nautical miles to go. We can slow down a bit more. We might actually have to descend a bit quicker than I had anticipated. Let's see. At least we'll have the VR, but that won't give us any vertical guidance, right? It's only the lateral one. So it's on, let me see, these are all fine. Passengers have been briefed, avionics, altimeters, GPS approach, CDI scale. I guess everything's fine. Final land, we don't want to use yaw dampener, we need to remember that. Probably gonna forget, but let's hope we can remember that. Checklists. Avitab, actually just quickly wanted to see FARB. Let me just have a look. Okay, it doesn't give that much info. 2000 should be enough. We can jump back to our checklist. I guess technically can't you remove yaw dampener already? We don't need that for the autopilot. Seems like that was fine. We can throttle down a bit, because we're quite on the limitation of the speed we want to have. I'll throttle up no, sorry, not throttle up, I'll pitch up a bit. Okay, let's see. God damn, these buildings look like runways. I was I was a bit fooled. But I think the runway is there, so we can already see it. So hopefully this should be a kind of nice straight in approach. But let's see. This one still thinks we're on climb, which we aren't. We're on the descent. So yaw dampener is fixed. We can set down the gears. Go to with slats.
Tower Senegal 41 Assalamualaikum. Clear to land roadway 01. Senegal 418.
Let's not click all of that. We don't want to focus on that. We want to focus on making it right. The lights, cabin differential, pusher mode, GPS mode. Yeah, this should be fine. Let's change the nav though to localizer.
Approach Bonjour Senegal 404. Approaching net.
And actually, we don't need to do that much more. We can actually disconnect the autopilot. I'm gonna do manual flying. We're gonna go to flaps. Can we do a flaps full? Is that okay? Seems like we're a bit high. So let's try to descend. I'll add some more flaps, a bit more torque. I think we can land a bit below 100. Okay, that should.
404 requesting direct 11 miles per hour.
Let's have a look. It feels like we're way too high. Okay, let's not pitch down too crazy, just so we get down. We have a bit to go until we're at the minimums. Let's try to be stable at that point.
Understood, we are clear down to 7 feet.
Okay, we are coming down. Yeah, dampener is off. We're on flaps full. Let's see, we're at 500. Do we know about the wind? It might come a bit from the west, right? So feels like it's coming a bit from the west, so we might have to crab a bit to the right once we're down. Still have 4 poppies yellow, so that's a bit unfortunate. Let's keep track on that. We have minimums, but continue. Okay, now we have 1 red poppy, so that's a good sign. 2 red. And let's try to not hit the treetops. I think we just skimmed them. I think this should be fine, but let's have a look. Oh. I think we were able to land it maybe a bit high on the speed, to be honest. Oh, and a bit. Ew. And a bit back and forth there. These tiny planes are a bit different than the big ones I'm used to. But it's a fun one to fly. You can do things like that, right? You're very high on approach and you kinda just decide you wanna get down and you can just get down. Landing rate was pretty good. 100 feet per minute. I'll take that. Nice with a good landing. And we have some pretty nice scenery here as well. Let's turn a bit to the right. We didn't even use our thrust reversers, so that was a bit interesting. We could have, but we didn't. Okay, so for this embarking we just need to taxi to the position and set parking brakes. So let's turn here. What about the trim? I have no idea about those callouts. We can probably shut out some of these lights. We're just gonna turn here and park. This is a kind of tiny airport, as you can see. You might have some turboprops or similar here, but that might be the maximum, right? Okay, let's see, we'll turn here.
Alpha Tango is ready for descent.
Alpha Tango, no traffic for your descent to Muhammad. Report Muhammad inside.
Let's put the parking brake here. And to shut the engine, I'm gonna assume it's just cutting it off like that. Resetting the gens. The inverters. And we completed the job. I can ask for the GPU, get that external power, and we did it. Job completed. Let's look at what the job details say. Oh, we didn't really park as in the middle that I thought, but it will do. But yeah, great flight. This is a fun aircraft to fly. Do we have any? How do you get the wind if there's raining, right? Is there blowers? Left wash, wash. Wind flood. I don't know. I don't know, unfortunately. Let's have a look at pilot, not pilot to see the Pack X 232, so a bit harder on the landing than FS. Maybe I think Pack X might have been more correct, but let's see. Okay, let's go back a bit in time. I'll just have a look at the landing. Now we're actually pretty fine. We're not even skimming the treetops. We should have but we kind of avoid crabbing by turning a bit here at the end. Oh, but that was bad landing with the front wheel first. I mean, they're pretty close, so it's probably not that uncommon. But yeah, that was a bit of a tricky landing. I didn't even cut the engines until after I landed, so that was also a bit. Should have done my retard a bit earlier, or the retardation of the thrust lever. But we did it. We landed, and seems like the pilot is content. Bonair Express did its job, delivering charter passengers within South Africa. Oh no, maybe it was some Afrikaner people as well. Not really sure though actually about the ethnic kind of placement, right? I know like Cape Town is kind of diverse, right? And then other areas are more Zulu areas and stuff. I should know better. My wife's used to live for a long time in South Africa, so I went to school actually there, so I should have more information, but unfortunately not. But yeah, here we go. We have landed. We have watched the replay. It's all looking good. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, let's see what we'll fly next. Thank you for watching and have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.